Hello, James here. You're probably wondering why I'm flashing a cell phone. Well, I finally upgraded to a new phone. After 5 years, I finally dealing with. Um, I used. I went to Cricket. Got me a. I have me a Galaxy. It's A14. Oh, here it is. I got I got me one of these, and I had a pretty good price on them. The price for this phone, um, with everything out the door, it was like $91. For it, usually I was looking on other YouTube channels and they were saying that some of these phones can run up, and I'm so glad I got the one with the three cameras on the back, the three cameras on the back, and this is what it looked like. I got I have my SIM card, but I wanted because I got some stuff on my other phone, so I take my SIM card out and I have to figure out from other phone and put it see if I can upload some of the information in this phone. And this bad boy can you probably seen other channels do this, but it's pretty much all the different text, But yeah, finally got one. This is my first um, Galaxy phone. This is old. It's 5G. Usually I've been having 4G, but I upgraded to 5G too. So so I'm finally somewhat caught up with technology. I finally caught up with some technology. I went on got one. It was either that or go with the LTE or Motorola, and I don't want it. And Motorola, it was either that, and I thought about iPhone, but iPhones right now is kind of a little bit out of my budget right now, so I went on and got me one of these for right now. Then maybe eventually I'll get an iPhone down the road. Them iPhones are pretty expensive. I mean, the cheapest one I seen was like 180 something dollars, but they go all the way up to about 400 something dollars with these phones. I mean with iPhones anyway. Made by Apple, of course, you know that. But yeah, I finally upgraded one. I finally went on ahead and got me one because I kept on dealing with them off-brand phones. Like with Cricket, they got a couple off-brands, and for some reason, the software they don't last. And like this is the other phone, but I remember I damaged this chip, uh, like in here. So when I went to go and try to plug it, I couldn't charge it up. So eventually it wear down. I couldn't even charge it. I couldn't even, and being without a phone. Oh shit! Being without a phone is your life source. I'm thinking about getting another cell phone. Sorry about that. This is the SIM card out of this one. So I'm gonna see if I can put it up in this one. And the only thing about these, and I didn't realize this, because unlike most cell phones, you come with the charger. When I got the phone, I didn't know you had to go get an adapter because these things right here, you see how this is all that they give you. In, in I guess that's the regular thing. So you have to go out and get an adapter. So luckily that this prong is similar to this one, but these ones fit together. But the black one, but if you got one of these laying around the house and this will work inside the phone because that's how I was able to fully charge my phone. And because I had to go and get buy a one that matches up with this. That whoever thought about that? Why would they make a cord that you can't and put the charger like you do other cell phones? I guess so they make you spend more phone. But even though it's technology, but you gotta go out and you have to go get something to put in the wall or something that's you gotta hook up to if you're in a car, hook up to your cigarette lighter, get and find something that would hook up something different. Find a cigarette lighter that probably would match up because you just can't put a regular cigarette lighter with this when you go to charge it up in your car. So you have to find another. It's crazy how the way they design these things. But yeah, I had to put my SIM card, and then they give you this little. It didn't come much with it, like all Cricket phones, like the generic version of AT&T. you get this, of course you get the cell phone. You get this, and you get the instructions, and you get this little tool that you're able to put your SIM card in, and that's it. That's all you get with this with the Galaxy 14. And I'm gonna have to find a screen cover because I need like a screen cover with it in a case. And the cases that run for these, like they had one in there for like $24 for a case, the covering. Then the cheapest one I think I seen there that they had behind this was like $19. So I'm gonna check around if I decide to go back to Cricket. If I don't see that, I might go to the Cricket store, see if they have it on sale. I got it on my side of town. And another thing, and now I didn't know this. You know how when you since my old phone, they would do it for you, but the guy claimed that you can do it. Somehow you can take your information from your old phone and transfer to this through Google. That's what he told me. But it's a good thing I kept the SIM card. I'm gonna see if I can get my SIM card in there because I got some other information on there, apps on it that I want applied. And when I went to Google, eventually I was able to get my Gmail, my photographs and things like that. But the other apps you can't get. So I'm gonna have to find another. So I'm gonna have to take out my SIM card later on and see if that will work and upgrade the apps I had on that phone. So yeah, no more. I'm gonna have to get if I wanted to keep a secondary phone like an Obama phone. That way, keep my real phone at home and keep like an Obama phone or something like that. But these phones is expensive, and luckily, I got some insurance on this. I found that's very important to have insurance on these phones. It's like $8 a month, but it's probably worth it. So it'll cover you if your phone get lost, it get damaged or something, or my case would happen where the chip break off in the phone. You'd be able to get another phone without going through hassle. I went for a whole week without a cell phone because I got rid of my landline phone through Spectrum. And Spectrum is so I have Wi-Fi, but with no landline service. So that's why and so I guess the best thing to do is see if you get another phone and you get like a that costs extra. So time you and they keep all that tax and all that everything, you over close to going. My one, I had the regular, I had a regular landline phone with my old phone, and it was it meant the Wi-Fi with my regular phone, landline phone. That bill just kept going up and up and up and up and up, and so I really barely even used my landline phone. But it's good to have a landline phone just in case something like that happens. So just in case of an emergency, you probably want to have a secondary phone in case you misplace your phone. And I can't stress enough to have two phones, these two cell phones or landline phones, because it's literally like you cut off from the world when you don't have no cell phone. It's bad if you don't, because you imagine not having a car and a cell phone. Oh, you really cut off. But when you don't have a cell phone, your cell phone is a lifesaver. And so my mom was trying to call me, and she probably think I was trying to ignore it, but as a mom, I didn't have no phone for the last 3 or 4 days because my charge, I couldn't charge my phone, and eventually and the battery just went down. But yeah, so I moved up to 5G. I wasn't sure about going 5G, but I don't know why, but I went on here and got one anyway. I mean, I didn't have no choice. And luckily, I had the money to be able to get it today instead of just put it off. And like I said, I walked out the door with tax and everything. It was like $91, which is not bad because usually these phones run low. Even Galaxies kind of run you up there a little bit too. But I got a pretty good deal on it, and I'm glad I got the one with the 3 cameras. That's the main thing. I wanted the one with the 3 cameras on it because I saw it on another YouTube video explain the whole thing about it, and I'm finally able to do like flip phones or do selfies or something. Like do selfies, the quality is really good. That's true. Okay. So yeah, but this what looks like, and this what looks like on a selfie. That's a selfie. That's how clear it is. See my lamp in the background, but that's what the selfie looked like. But before I couldn't even, the software is up to date, so, and it, photography, video. So I can't wait to start filming video with this, but right now it's on full charge. When I got it, it was on half charge. It was like 59%. So I'm running around, I say, I gotta wait till this sucker get up to find the cord. And it's been raining here in Ohio all day. It was just blowing out rain. I'm like, oh man, I didn't feel like Only thing I can do was pay my rent and I definitely had to get my phone. I had to definitely pay my rent, and I had to get a phone. That was a must. But tomorrow I got to pay my cable bill. Well, technically my Wi-Fi. I don't got cable, but yeah. So it's a good quality phone. It's a 5G. Those of you uh, and where the SIM card go, it is right in here. That's where you can put your SIM card at. And I think as far as the battery, I haven't really cracked it open to see, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, but I finally got one. Yes. So, man, and yeah, this is this is my older phone, and so the camera would be like right here. And my mom gave me some of her cell phones, and it was like these old cricket phones. They were 4G phones. But yeah, that's the good news I got for today, is that I finally upgraded to a cell phone. Finally a 5G, my first 5G cell phone from my first Galaxy, but my first 5G Galaxy phone. So this is my first, so I'm very happy about that, and I got it at a good price. So I can't complain, because even with Galaxies they'll run you some money. But anyway, now that I got that out the way, I wanted to show a video recently, and I want to comment on this commentator. He's a real popular commentator. His name is Briggs, World According to Briggs. And I thought this would be an interesting topic to talk about. Talks about the unfriendly cities. And then I'm going to make my commentary. This is going to be something different. And it's called the unfriendly cities in the U.S. And I'm going to give you my version of some of the things what he said is talking about. But what is he talking about? And so I'll give you my version of what cities I've been to too, and I can confirm what his data is saying. But this won't be a long video. Usually it's like a 13-minute video, and then I'll add my little commentary afterwards. I hope you guys are doing good out there. I hope you staying warm or staying out the weather. So here's the commercial.
The most unfriendly cities the United States has to offer here in 2023. Human beings theoretically should be friendly all the time. If that's how it was, we would all just have a much happier and easier lives. We could get things done and the world would work much smoother. But that isn't the reality. I mean, we're talking about human beings, and when we get involved, it rarely works out the way it should. And then we find ourselves in the situation where we have a bunch of unfriendly people roaming our streets. In my experience, unfriendly people are usually dealing with some stuff. They're lonely, they have some mental issues, they have a rash on their undercarriage, or maybe they're Philadelphia Eagles fans and they haven't recovered from the Super Bowl 57 loss. God, that was a bad call at the end of that game. I'm not a Philly fan and I haven't recovered. But no matter where you go, you will find unfriendly people. In some places, those people are just easier to find. We ran a poll asking people what they felt the most unfriendly cities in the U.S. were. I also left an optional section where they could leave reasons as to why they felt this was an unfriendly city, or the people were unfriendly. And I'll tell you one thing I learned from that. There are a lot of people out there trashing entire cities because of bad relationships that ended poorly. There's a lot of angry women out there. So today we look at what 4,753 people felt were the most unfriendly cities in the U.S. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is the capital of Oklahoma, and it is known for its cowboy culture and its Capitol grounds, like the Capitol building, and they have working oil wells on the property. If you don't know, Oklahoma has a long history with oil. In my personal experience, I've never had a problem when I've gone to Oklahoma City. The people have been wonderful. Even they had friendly cops and I was doing some stupid shit with the drone. Now, the comments section of any video that I've ever made about Oklahoma City, that's a different story. They get a little angry, and I remember one man years ago claimed I had a cow turd for a brain. I don't know how he got a hold of my medical records, but I thought that was kind of rude. Some kind of HIPAA violation, I'm sure. Oklahoma City has a population of about 700,000, with the entire metro area having about 1.5 million. And what it looks like is a lot of people think they're unfriendly, especially a woman named Carla who wrote, "If you get involved with a man from Oklahoma City, you're just stupid." And then she put in parentheses, "toxic masculinity." Number 9, Providence, Rhode Island. You know, this is really strange. I did a video just the other day and Providence showed up. I never talk about Providence. Here they are twice in 1 month. New England is a great place to live, but they sort of have a reputation for being a little rude and possibly unfriendly. The problem with Providence is they're also a little snobby. Providence doesn't have the greatest weather, and I'm sure that plays a part in why people here are so unfriendly. Gray skies most of the year really works on someone's emotional state. I guess the gray skies were too much for this dude, so he painted his house bright orange. I don't know, that house makes me kind of happy. And that's not just because it's the same color of my car, my tool chest, my toaster, and most of my clothes. Yes, sometimes I leave the house dressed like orange sherbet. My wife won't go places with me on those days. Providence has a high cost of living, high taxes, and housing is sort of unaffordable here. So I'm sure that plays into why people are so unfriendly as well. One man named Mike K said the problem with Providence, Rhode Island is the people just don't have time for you or being friendly. Said it's something they kind of take pride in. Number 8, Orlando, Florida. Now, this might surprise you because it's kind of known as the happiest place on earth with Disney World there. But the locals are very unfriendly. And that, you'll find on this list, has a lot to do with what goes on there. It's a tourist town. Locals love tourists because that's basically what pays their bills, but at the same time, they hate the tourists because a lot of tourists do stupid crap. And really, it's not just the locals. It's normally the parents that have to take their kids to Disneyland. The kids are having a good time, but the parents are thinking about how much it's costing them. And this makes people very unfriendly. You can find this unfriendliness in traffic, at cash registers, in 2-hour lines for the teacups. Supermom Kelly wrote, "I hate Disney. I hate the people at Disney. I hate thinking about Disney. If my kids ask me to go back, it takes everything I have not to cry. We went to Disney 3 years ago. I just finished paying it off." Yeah, so you can imagine Supermom Kelly is one of those unfriendly people you'd run into if you were visiting Orlando. Number 7, Los Angeles, California. Do you really need to throw the California in there? Is there another Los Angeles? I do, automatically. I grew up in the Los Angeles metro area, and I can tell you the biggest problem with the unfriendliness of Los Angeles, they're frickin' snobby. Terribly snobby. And this translates into an unfriendly experience for most out-of-towners. Oddly enough, the friendliest people in Los Angeles are normally the homeless people. They also seem to be the happiest people every time I run into them in LA. Now, this isn't the first time I've done a poll where people have brought up how unfriendly people in Los Angeles are. You don't expect it. Los Angeles is warm weather, sunshine all the time, we got beaches. You'd think we'd just be happy down there. No, not at all. We look down our noses at everyone and we treat them in a very unfriendly manner. Now, obviously, that's not everyone. I'm sure there's wonderful people in Los Angeles. I don't know many of them. I would say the odds of running into someone unfriendly are better than running into someone that's friendly in the Los Angeles metro area. Kyle wrote, "If you want to see unfriendly people in Los Angeles, get on the 405 freeway at rush hour, and that's all you'll see."
Ooh, I've been out there.
Number 6, Las Vegas, Nevada. Much like Orlando, Las Vegas has the same tourist problems. The locals understand that's where a lot of the money they make comes from, but they still got to deal with the nonsense that tourists usually try and pull off whenever they're in Sin City. Even though it's called Sin City, everything is not legal. I know a few girls that have worked there at different bars and casinos, usually serving drinks or things like that, and they've all complained and said that every single time there's a convention in town, old businessmen from the middle of America seem to think that there's a magic word or a price that'll get you up to their room. One friend of mine, Michelle, said if the chances of you scoring with a 25-year-old girl back in Iowa are zero, your odds are the same in Las Vegas with a cocktail waitress. Las Vegas has a population of about 641,000 residents, with the entire metro area having about 2.2 million residents. That's just the people that live there. On any given weekend, the number of people in Las Vegas and the metro area can almost double. Number 5, Washington, D.C. The people of Washington, D.C. are very unfriendly.
Yes.
And that's just the politicians.
I got a story for you
Residents
on
of
that
Washington, D.C. tend to be a little rude as well.
Yeah.
It's sort of overcrowded. They got traffic problems.
Yeah.
They don't have the best weather. And they have to deal with a lot of garbage a lot of other cities don't have to deal with. And then you got the tourists. Tourists are there all year round. The city also has heightened security all the time, and this just kind of wears on you as well. It disrupts whatever you're doing. If you're traveling, driving around the city, you got to worry about that garbage. And on top of it, there's lobbyists and lawyers everywhere in this city, and they're just arrogant a-holes. But one of the biggest problems is the amount of police and security type people in Washington, D.C. is kind of incredible. If you've ever been there, it's a little mind-blowing. And they don't really get trained in customer service that often. Ted said the people and the going-ons of Washington, D.C. are an embarrassment to this country. Then he said people in Washington, D.C. are rude and evil. That's a bit much, Ted.
Yeah.
Number 4, Detroit, Michigan. How can the people of Detroit not be unfriendly? I mean, horrible weather. City is just run down. It's dangerous. People that visit are in fear for their life. There aren't enough jobs to go around. This kind of makes people unfriendly. Detroit, outside of summer is just one of those places where the sky is gray, gloomy, it rains, or it snows. You're always cold. It's like ingredients for a unfriendly person cocktail. Detroit, it's estimated, has 632,000 residents. In 2020, they had 639,000. They have been hemorrhaging residents since the 1960s, when the city itself, not the metro area, maxed out at 1.8 million residents. Now the entire metro area currently has about 4.3 million residents. That's including places like Dearborn, Plymouth, Pontiac, Warren, and a whole bunch of other places. But yeah, Detroit's just sort of a depressing city, and of course the people are going to be unfriendly. Joel Naper wrote, if you order an Uber in Detroit, you pray they show up in a Brinks truck.
Damn.
Threats imminent. We need your unique set of skills. Orson Fulci.
I got a comment about the one part. Yeah, I went to L.A. and I was walking on the beach and just filming. And I wasn't filming. I was just filming at people. But some people gave me like the meanest look in L.A. Man, this was back in 1995, and it was a lot of heightened tension out there. It was just, you seen people. Yeah, it's really. He's right about whoever write that out. When I went to Washington, D.C. back in 2019, we went with a busload, right? And we went to this one restaurant, and the people seemed like we waited, they were sitting other people. It was a whole busload of us, and there were other groups of people, but they let other groups of people in other than we was this busload of people. And it was right down by the pier over there in Washington, D.C. So yeah, and it's like, so the bus driver and the representatives went over and asked, what's going on? Why are we not? Oh, we get to you, man. We get to you, man. You have to really get kind of assertive in Washington, D.C. And yeah, you can tell by the folks in Washington, D.C. They are snotty, but they are snotty. Whoever wrote that article is right. People in Washington, D.C., just visiting there, they stuck up. They stuck up. Detroit, yeah. Going to a local restaurant, you kind of sense that people are kind of like I said, anything north of Nashville is unfriendly. I mean, anything north of Nashville, Tennessee is unfriendly. You get up here, you might see some people, if they're friendly to you, I call phony, fake friendly to you. I mean, you got you. I mean, some people you come across here, if they're friendly to you, it's almost like you gotta be wondering if they next time they're gonna see you, they're gonna ask you for some money or something like that. And another thing, I mean, it's so unfriendly up here. Even the animals don't even want to pay attention to you. I mean, you see, even a dog. You go through a dog and a cat. Say, hey, cat, hey, dog. And the dog even cat even get away from you because they know this is some areas up here. People are just because they got certain demeanor that even the animals even sense it. You know that's bad when animals don't even feel comfortable. I think they feel more comfortable in the country than they do out here in the city, in some of these cities. And I don't blame them. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
Number 3, Boston, Mass. You know what? Boston has a horrible history of rudeness. It's just the way they are. And a lot of it has to do with how they communicate. It's very aggressive and very much in your face. New Jersey shares the same thing. They may not see it as rude, but to outsiders it seems very rude and unfriendly. Boston is also a very busy and expensive city, so that never makes people happy. Now, once you get outside of the inner city part and out to some of the suburbs, it's a little bit different, but downtown Boston and the immediate area around it, yeah, they're pretty rude. And it's weird. It's almost like they pride themselves on it. Boston also has the problem with a whole bunch of tourists. Very much a historical, touristy town. Jules said, it's better now with smartphones, but when I was a teenager in South Boston, tourists would always ask for directions, and we would always send them in the wrong direction. What's funny about that, I grew up in a beach community in Southern California. When I was a kid, people would, hey, which way's the beach? You know, and they're like 4 blocks away from the beach. We'd send them the other direction.
Damn.
Number 2, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Known as the city of brotherly love, it really isn't. Philadelphia is almost an extension of New Jersey. New Jersey people are rude. I'm really shocked none of the New Jersey cities made it onto this list. If we would have counted the top 20, they might have made the list. There wasn't that many things for like Trenton or Camden even. Camden's dangerous and unfriendly. Normally when something is dangerous and your life's at risk, I'd consider it unfriendly. But here we are at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is another historical place with a lot of tourists. It also has some scary neighborhoods. If you're not from this part of the country, like Philly or anywhere in New Jersey, in parts of New York, you probably don't know, but they drop the F-bomb like it's nothing. I've always akined it to how in California, people say dude or like all the time. Like Boston and what I was saying about New Jersey, it's just the way they communicate. It seems rude to outsiders. Now, they kind of are unfriendly to tourists, just like any place that gets a lot of tourists, like we've gone over several times. The people of Philly are a little rough. That's just kind of their thing. Philadelphia is a big city. They've got a population of about 1.6 million residents. That's in the city alone. In the whole metro area, it's closer to 6.2. That's the 7th largest city in the United States. So there's a lot of potential there for running into some unfriendly people. Charlene wrote, never wear a New York Giants jersey, t-shirt, or hat here unless you really want to experience some unfriendly behavior. Alright, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This Day. There's a link for that channel below. Alright, on to number 1. And number 1, New York City, New York. This is the poster child for rude and unfriendly. Their reputation for being unfriendly goes way back, and it's a little surprising considering how many people just flooded here over the decades and decades. It's a giant melting pot. You think at some point they would have learned to get along and be friendly with each other. It's not just outsiders they're unfriendly to, they're unfriendly to each other on a regular basis. It's just sort of their thing. The middle finger and the F word are part of daily communication in New York City. On top of that, the weather isn't the greatest. They have an extremely high cost of living. And in my experience, almost everyone you run into in the tourist area always seem like they're working some kind of scam. It's really weird. I mean, you can find that anywhere, but I have never felt that as much as I do when I've gone to New York City. And that's unfriendly behavior. And don't expect to go into like retail places or restaurants and get some friendly service there. No, customer service really isn't much of a thing in New York City. You really go into a restaurant and they kind of treat you like you're lucky they're there and you're lucky they let you in. New York City is the most populated city we have in the United States. It's also the most densely populated city. They had 8.8 million residents in the 2020 census, and right now, in 2022, it's estimated that they've lost about 400,000 residents. It's still too crowded. The entire metro area has like 20 million residents. When people live on top of each other, it's not a good thing. You get a lot of crime, you get a lot of extra BS, and a lot of unfriendly and rude people. Just how it is. And my favorite response through this whole thing was from a guy named Lou. All he said was, "It's New York City, no shit." Alright, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it.
Now, I'm gonna give you my yeah, I had an uncle that he passed away, and he raised his kids in Boston. Now they live here in Ohio. I had a cousin. Both my cousins went on my mom's side. They went to school in Boston, college in Boston. One is here now. He lived in California. His brother, two brothers, and his brother lives in Florida now. But I never got a chance to ask him about Boston. Never. One of these days I'm gonna have to probably ask him, is that true about Boston? What is Boston really like? I never got a chance to really talk to my Uncle Gregory about Boston either. Right before he passed away. Philly, I got some cousins there. I've been on the outskirts of Philly, but I've never been to Philadelphia. One time I went out to Atlantic City. I've been there one time, but I've never been through which is not that far from Philadelphia. Which you guys know that. But I've never been to, as far as rudeness. But the rudeness don't stop in them cities. And people, the unfriendliness, anytime you come to the Midwest, Northeast, and probably some parts of the West, like out West, it's the same spirit. It's the same. People are, they look at you like you're crazy when you say hi. Maybe in the small towns in the West, in some places, but when you come up from where people are friendly and neighborly, and maybe people in small hometown in Georgia or Alabama, Mississippi, or Texas, or wherever you watch this video from, no, we fake phony up here. Anything past Nashville, we fake phony. And what I mean by fake phony is that it's opposite up here. I mean, you might get a few people that are kind of friendly, but most people, they don't have time to talk to you. And if you're not into what they into, they really don't want to sit down and negotiate, talk with you. This is the God's honest truth. And I'm in Ohio, and I can say, and Ohio people is the same way. Indiana people is the same way. Pennsylvania people are the same way. Upstate New York people the same. Michigan, some parts of Michigan people the same way. Parts of Kentucky, same way. Yeah, some parts of Kentucky like that. I mean, it's like if you don't, and like I said, and other people don't speak to you, they, like I mentioned in one video, and I said, yeah, how, people as our own, most people that look like, we don't even speak to each other, among each other. I mean, and it's true, some older people might speak to you, but the younger people, they when it comes to younger black people, most younger black women, if they're attractive, they ain't speaking to you. I mean, some younger black men got an attitude, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, people don't acknowledge. I mean, they don't. It's like the morality and morals have just left. Thank God, maybe in some parts of the country that, like I said, down south, maybe people still got some morals and speak to one another, but common sense and people, and I guess it's okay to be stuck up and snobby. I mean, maybe a couple of generations ago, people used to speak to you. Most of them people are gone. Half those people are in the grave that kept up their morality. Now people just is downright rude and inconsiderate. People are just downright rude. They inconsiderate. There's no morals. It's nothing. It really isn't. As far as friendliness in the cities, no. I mean, I mean, even when you even sad enough to say it, there would be a time when you go in some churches and people used to get up and go over and welcome people. You got some churches they don't even want to do that now. People they stand back way up like you got the plague. They don't even want to come over and acknowledge you. You know, I mean, you go to, not all churches, but some churches. I mean, there's some people in the world will speak to you like or homeless, like he was saying. They're the most precious people. They'll speak to you more than someone that's in a suit that's supposed to be a child of God that read the word. That's straight up. That's true. And that's why I learned not to judge a book by its cover. No, people are, and I think when it comes to people homeless, I think they see the reality. Because I mean, and I think thank God that they probably have a special place in God's heart. Not that the people in the church don't, but people in the church that they stuck on their own mindset, their own clique, their own. I don't want to communicate, and I've seen it in the black churches, the white church, the Hispanic church, a black church, and a white church. How people just clam up to each other, they want to click to each other. It doesn't matter, and it's like wow. I thought we supposed to love Jesus together, right? I mean, that's what I'm under the impression when you go to church that if we praying to a God, we supposed to all be the same. But it's kind of funny how, yeah, people can read and they put on a fake phony, and they do that, and it's like wow. And then as soon as and I kid you not, as soon as our Bible closed, they turn right into the devil. You see the real, the courtesy and the common sense goes right out the door. It's the truth. It is the truth. People so fake. So sometimes people who never step into a church, who live on the street, have more heart and more love, and will help you faster than somebody. Sometimes it could be a homeless person would probably, and that's the truth. There's somebody in the church would be just like the Samaritan. Keep on riding. You break down somewhere. It's the truth. It's the truth. After they got done reading the Bible, hearing what a man or woman of God just saying, they ain't got time. They stuck in their own world, and God can probably just lay it out a test right there. It's the truth. I mean, I have seen it throughout my lifetime. Like, wow, man, people, they don't want to sit next to you. Yeah, they don't want to have. They want to speak to you. They don't have. They want to say nothing. You can be in church with them for 2 to 3 to 5, 10 years. I have seen it. But it's funny how you see somebody out in the world who never even been into a church building, but they have the most loving heart, giving, and will probably speak to you, acknowledge you, and I said, wow, ain't that something? And it really, you don't look at life the same. You don't look at people the same. I mean, it's some people. It's funny how God will give you people who do not even relate to you, have more love for you than someone who you known all your life, who you might grew up in the same block. I got people who are related to me, my extended family, don't even acknowledge me. That's the truth. They won't acknowledge me. They don't. I see them on social media, but they won't acknowledge me. They don't come to my page. I said, there's people more around the world. I've had people I've known. It's funny how God give you people. You could be around people all your life, and people will change on you. People will change. People will change. They got your extended family, even though you came from a big family with aunties and uncles, and they had kids and they had grandkids. Them folks don't speak to you. They a whole different. They just keep to themselves. So yeah, but I'm just giving overall unfriendliness of the times we living in. So yeah, so if wherever the part of the country you live at, little small town, stay where you at. If people are friendly and loving and still have that God-like quality in them, stay where you at. Don't come to some of these cities up north. Stay where you at. Because where we are in some parts, place in Ohio, we don't care to know you. We'll know you, and that's as far as business, and that's it. Um, Anything else, we ain't got nothing. And that's how their mindset is. Some people up here is because they don't have time. Some people are. Some places you go in Ohio and my neighboring states, that's the truth. They don't have time. Just because they share the same skin color, they ain't got time. Just because they share the same religion, they ain't got time. They do not have time to be friendly to you. It's the truth. Like I said, even the animals even know it. Even the stray dog and the cat knows to keep his head down and keep on moving. Don't make no eye contact. Even the cat and the dog even know it. I'm serious. The cat and the dog. Even you see cats and dogs. Even they, even though they're hungry, but they even don't probably want to interact with humans. Because they see how we are. They see how we are, how we are as human beings toward one another. Animals see. We ain't got time to be friendly. That's the truth. And like I said, the only people that's kind of friendly to you is the people who don't have anything. And then the people that get looked down upon, that's sleeping under the bridge. If push comes to shove, you'll find a godly person in that person. And they probably been shunned and kicked away from the world. And this could be in any city. But it's funny how that life goes like that. It's like their heart, even though they might be smelling like filth, but their heart is right. That's why I believe that they might be the very first ones when they leave this world. The very homeless people you see will probably be in heaven before some of these Christians and the other people, other folks will. I truly believe that. Because God know what's in them, even though their circumstances is different. But we so flashy and cliquish, and we so favoritism and nepotism, and along with social, we as a human beings, we don't really care about each other. We don't. We really don't. We put on and people know, and people, I believe, out there in the streets, they know what's real, and they see some of people who go to church, some people that read the Bible, go to church. Some people, there's some legitimate people that's in the church. There's some people that really do take the word and go out there and apply it in the field. But the majority of the people, they don't do it. Majority of the people, there's some people that go, they don't do it, and they only do. Their pastor have to guilt them into do it. It's the truth. They got to guilt him. They don't do it for God. They do it for pastor. They don't do it for pastor. You should do it for God. You should want to do it for God. That's the truth. But I just wanted to make this video. But yeah, as far as unfriendly city, and like I said, I've been to Youngstown, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, and I can vouch, big man, is everywhere. If you ain't got family, you ain't got a friend, all I can say that only God can send you a family and a friend. Because people, they're not gonna step out there. They're not gonna step out their comfort zone. They'll sit back and laugh in your face. That's the truth, and judge you. And like I said, an animal will have more sense. And I see why some people want to be around animals. Animals have more sense than people do, because they don't judge you like people do. They don't mock you like people do. I see why some people rather be out there in the woods, be out there. Why? Because people don't have people don't care. Some people don't, man. Some people, I'm not saying everybody, but some people out there, you can tell by their actions. And then they do it. They do it for their own glory, not for the glory of God. Not, I don't look down on nobody, man. I know it's like to be rejected. I know it's like to be scoffed at, laughed at, mocked, made fun of. People laugh at you, think something just because you look, something must be wrong with you. But they just ignorance. I don't know what when it comes to life. They have no idea what life is. They have no idea that I might have more favor with God than they do. While they think that they got things going on, you might got things got going on, but if you don't have no relationship with God, the materialistic things and your sassy friends, you really ain't nothing unless you have the Most High in your life. So if you move to a city, hopefully that God will lead you to a church or town or wherever you move to. Make sure that He leads you to somebody. He'll give you a family. He'll love you like family. He'll give you people. And don't expect the whole, if you go to church, don't expect the whole church to love you. I learned that. Not everybody's there for Christ. There's only a few select people in every place you go. And those of you who believe in God, go to church. There's always a few selected people. This is the truth. This is the God's honest truth. I'll keep it real. And not all people are bad to go to church, but you got some devils up in there. You don't look like them. You don't live in the same block, drive the same car, wear fancy clothes. They don't even want to make eye contact with you. This is in the church, and they act like Jesus don't see it. And Jesus sees it. Definitely the Holy Spirit sees it, and it grieves Him. But they know how to put on an act and everything. And he probably getting it just to say, yo, you little phony. I'll give you some phony. You some phony. Since you want to be fake friendly, I'm gonna give you fake friendly anointing. Cause you got some fake friendly people. There's a lot of people like that. I don't know. I just want, that's how these cities are. So you from the South, stay in the South. Stay with them friendly small towns. You ain't missing nothing up here. Trust me. There's far few friendly people up here in the north. Trust me. Only then we want your money. If we friendly, we want your money, we want something out of you. That's about it. It ain't no genuine friend. Ain't too many people genuine friendly. That's the truth. And that's any place you go up north in these the bigger cities. But yeah, I never want to visit another city like Boston and them places. I never want to live in them places. New Jersey and Detroit. I've been to Buffalo. Oh my God, them people up there in Buffalo, New York before. Man, you can tell when you go in each these cities like Buffalo, New York, and even from one place I was born in Cleveland and Detroit. Them people got their own. They literally, the city claims that the people, and they carry the same spirit. I mean, they carry the same spirit. I mean, some things are, by skin color, it may look on the outside, but really, the demeanor is the same in every city. If you don't go to school with them, they brag about their block. They brag about the same things. And you be like, well, I came from a hood. I came from a block. Well, our block is harder than your block. What difference does it make? I mean, poverty is probably in every city, but everybody got brag with block, how bad the baddest dude on the block was since the 1960s or 70s. I mean, that's how it is when you go to different cities, and right here in Ohio. But people are unfriendly. I mean, it's just the times we living in. But anyway, but been out to L.A. Yeah, I've seen L.A., Washington D.C. I kind of sensed that a little bit in Orlando. I wanted at one time living in Orlando. I didn't know Orlando was like that. I was really shocked about Orlando. But I've been down. I went briefly through the Carolinas, but never. I don't know too much about the Carolinas. But you people down, you come this way, anything past Nashville, respect for phony, fake people. You come from the neighboring states of the Midwest, we fake, phony. Most of us is fake, phony. And that's all I gotta say about that. Some of us might speak to you, some of us, if we do, we gonna look at you like you're crazy. I mean, I don't know what it is, man. You know, young people up here, totally different. People in general, especially young people, they got a certain attitude up here. And if you black and you listen to it, not every black person is your brother. Not every black woman is your sister. I'm gonna put it to you that way. We all good, you know. We go through the same struggle on a national level as far as racism, but we're different. Once it's died down, we go back to our clans, we go back to our cliques, and we go back to our neighborhoods. Same scenario. National struggle. We might feel for you, but some of us, when it comes to our state, our city, our block, our neighborhood, that's it as far as it go. Some people got a mind like a tunnel rat. Some people don't expand, so that's why I encourage me to see black people from America to go in different parts of the world and get out of that mindset. Get out of your state, get out of your city, get out of your town, go see what's up. Leave the country, because that's where it's at. Go see something that let God abroad. Don't necessarily have to be black, but anybody. Broaden your horizon. Don't get stuck in them little small towns, small-minded people. They ain't got nothing going on, and as soon as you come back and been someplace, they kind of jealous at you because you have experienced something that they choose not to, because they're scared and they're insecure to step out their boundary. So that's why they sound like they're less educated and they're from the streets, or whatever their product, their environment is, and they think that that's as far as they go. And some people can relate to that, and people with that same mindset is because that's what it really comes down to. But yeah, and you can sense that. I'm telling you, if you go into any city, come up here, come through any of these states, you'll see what I'm talking about. Just go into any restaurant, go to some territories. You don't believe me? You'll see it. Travel across this country. You come to the Midwest. Come on through these Midwestern states. You'll see what I'm talking about. Some people think I'm exaggerating, probably making these videos, but you'll see. Stop in some of these cities. I mean, you might find 1-2 friendly people, but hey, they there for your business, but that's as far as to go. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, yeah, the friendly city, but yeah, I finally upgrade to a new phone. Yay! So maybe I could show some videos on this phone and see what the clarity is like. All right then, guys. You have a good one. Until next time, and I hope you have a blessed wherever part of the city or country or wherever you're seeing this video at, and be blessed. And like Briggs would always say, learn to be nice to each other. That's the truth. We got to learn to be nice to each other. That's the reality. Because we're going someplace one day when we leave this world, someone's going to be in the kingdom. So that's you be blessed and take care. And I see you on the next video. Until next time, we out.